Welcome SteemIt. I'm here today to answer the TribeSteemUp bi-weekly question, which is, what is the best way to move forward when faced with dissension within your community? And the first thing I want to say about this is, in my experience, the absolute best way to deal with any kind of dissension anywhere is simply to smoke some cannabis about it. And I mean, that's only halfway a joke. It really does solve a lot of problems, calms us down, kills our ego a little bit and helps us come to terms easier with each other. So on that note, I'm gonna chief some cannabis with hempers here before I get into the rest of my explanation. You know, another good way to move past dissension or to deal with dissension is to take dabs. Something we like to do frequently here in Oregon. Also solves some problems. So we're gonna do that too. So, I wanted to start this off on kind of a lighter note. So, when I first started thinking about what the best way to move forward would be if you have dissension in your community, I first looked up the word dissension on Google. And when you type in dissension defined on Google, the definition of dissension is, word for word, disagreement that leads to discord. Now, as we all know, sometimes, and a lot of the times, the dissension can actually begin on Discord and not lead to Discord, but actually be sourced from there. And sometimes also does lead to Discord from SteemIt. If you strike up a Discord with Alchemage on Discord, you'll actually be striking up a Discord on Discord with a Discordian. So I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah. Dissension can happen for all kinds of reasons. Almost every reason, really, if you think about it. I mean, conflict is really the nature of reality. If there was no resistance, there would be no existence, because then we would just have perfection and singularity. And the question is, what is the best way to move forward when faced with dissension within your community? Well, I suppose the best way to answer that would depend on what kind of dissension and what the topic is and all the factors involved. It's kind of a complex question that's extremely situational, first off. I don't think that there's like one right generalized answer that could be applied to a broad range of situations in this category, really. However, if you're talking about specifically on SteemIt and Discord, there's some people out there that just attract drama and like to create drama and create dissension, and sometimes it's for apparently no reason. Sometimes I think maybe it's because they think it's funny. I don't know. But here on SteemIt in this community, this is a lot more serious. There's definitely real rewards involved, not just imaginary ones or fake ones, and all this content is our own and we own it, and that's kind of like the beauty of this platform. So when people are purposely creating dissension, it really detracts from what we're trying to create as a community together on Steemit. So, you know, when dealing with those kinds of people, I would just say that the best thing that we can do is do our best to make them aware of why that kind of thing is wrong. But even more than that, make them understand how it's actually hurting positive, beneficial communities within Steemit, and the impact that causes. With that being said, I think what everyone's probably going to point to with this question is the recent account that made basically a racist post that was a TribeSteemUp member. He's of course since been booted from TribeSteemUp. He even said himself he didn't align with TribeSteemUp's values, which is crazy because he was being supported by them. I can't believe he would say something like that, but I mean, it's kind of true. I mean, he did make sort of a racist post, and I looked into it. You know, a lot of times when I come into these kind of situations, I really try to like observe it from an outside perspective for as long as I can, unless I really feel like I'm being called to intervene. Because in that situation, I was reading through the whole post, I read through everyone's comments, which took forever, and I really feel like the tribe had it handled. I didn't feel that my personal intervention would have explained further why it was an injustice for him to make a post like that, especially not only just on Steemit, but especially as a TribeSteemUp member and being part of our community. He knows what our values are, and he knew what doing that. I don't know how he couldn't have known what doing that would cause. But I think it was handled very appropriately on our side. I don't think he ultimately he probably left the Discord server on his own because he knows truly inside that he's not right. But you know, like I was saying, I try to stay out of those kind of things normally. But if I am called and I feel like I can actually add something that hasn't been said that's extremely important, I will definitely come in there and throw down. You know, I've said before, you know, you should always speak your mind regardless of the perceived consequences. If you know it's the right thing and you know it needs to be said for something good to happen or some bad thing to be stopped. So when I'm dealing with dissension, that's my personal approach and philosophy. You know, other people like to be the first one in there in the charge and stuff. You know, and if I would have come in there first, maybe I would have said something, you know, but I didn't. I came in way after the tribe had already been deeply involved with the comments on that post. So, you know, that's the kind of thing that really shouldn't be a part of any of our conscious communities on here. None of that should exist in any way. It's unfortunate that it happened, but I think on our end we all learned something about how to deal with dissension, and it's probably good why we have this question for this week. It's really making us think about, or at least for me anyway, it really is making me think about how to deal with these kind of people in a way to where you can maybe potentially get through their walls that they put up. And I just put out my song on D-Sound from my album Breaking Down the Walls too, which is funny. But yeah, if we can break through those walls that they put up that they're just so impenetrable sometimes, just a little bit, then maybe they can actually learn something from, you know, the reasonable drawings and conclusions that we're coming to that are actually make sense in response to what he was saying, as opposed to just, you know, continuously re-arguing the same points and going in circles and making illogical arguments and, you know, basically avoiding the points that were being made by a lot of people. That's the goal there, you know, and all you can do is put it out there. And, you know, now all those comments and everything on that post is all out there for everyone to see. So now everyone else who comes across that, who might have not such harsh walls, that might be a little bit more breakable, will see that. Maybe they will break down their walls. Maybe they will start to become better people. Maybe they will not be racist or so racist anymore. You know, anything positive in the right direction is a good thing. So that's my take on how to move forward. Just after faced with dissension, make sure you learn from that dissension and understand not only how to avoid it, not only just how to avoid it in the future, but also how to handle that dissension in the future better. And that's what I've taken out of it personally. And every time it happens, I'm just going to keep applying all that knowledge and relearning, and just learning even newer ways and tactics to handle it in a manner that will actually potentially make one or more of these people actually learn something and take it in and absorb it, and not just let it, and not just, you know, slap it away like they always do. Anyway, I love all you guys out there. TribeSteemUp, Earth Tribe, Freedom Tribe. Oh man, it's a blessed time to be living on the earth. Like Kenny said, we live in an amazing time. Have a wonderful evening. Peace. If you strike up a Discord with Alchemage on Discord, you'll actually be starting Discord on Discord with a Discordian.